Hello Booktube and welcome to my bookshelves. So I've moved my bookshelves and I'm in a different location. So slightly different lighting. I've got a big window next to me and it's raining and horrible outside at the moment, so lighting's not the best. But yes, I've moved my bookshelves into a different room. So I'm filming in a new location. And the first video I am going to record in this room is a video I was tagged in by Dave at Wildereads, his original tag, and that is the first adult book tag. So this tag is about the first book you remember reading when you grew out of children's books, YA books, and the first adult book that you picked up. Now, like Dave over at Wildereads, I read a lot of Stephen King, James Herbert. He picked a James Herbert book for one of his. And yes, I read a lot of James Herbert when I was in teenage. Stephen King, D.N.R. Koontz. I spent a good few years devouring that type of genre. But then I thought back and I thought, mate, was that really my first book as an adult? I don't think I went from Famous Five to Stephen King just like that. So I thought back and then I saw it on my shelf and I still have this book. And I was 13 and my parents had gone away on holiday and left me with my grandparents. And they bought me a book to read while they were away. And that book was Sherlock Holmes. So the first adult book that I read was A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. But it's not just A Study in Scarlet. This is the complete Sherlock Holmes volume, and it's a little bit battered. Like I say, it's over 30 years old, and it is the illustrated, and it is a big chunky book. Like I say, it is a little bit battered now, so I have to be careful. This is a facsimile of the original Strand magazine editions, and so they come with the original illustrations. I don't know if you can see those. A bit difficult to hold up, but it's also written in columns like it would be in the original newspaper. And as you get to the later ones, the Valley of Fear, this one is, then obviously the illustrations change. I'll try and hold up without. So obviously the illustration, you get full-page illustrations in the later ones. But again, original facsimile reconstructions, and it was a most wonderful read. And I was 13, and I absolutely loved it. And I think that's what set me along the path of reading detective fiction. So question 2 in the tag is, what made you choose this book? Well, I didn't choose it. My parents bought it for me when they were going away. I don't know whether I asked for it or whether they chose it for me. I can't remember. Question 3, what genre is it in? Well, Sherlock Holmes, detective fiction. And question 4, do you still read that genre? Well, if you've watched my channel before, then you will know that is a yes. I got into Agatha Christie when I was in college, and then that led on to Dorothy L. Sayers, Ngaio Marsh, and all the others. So yes, I still read a lot of detective fiction. Question 5, is the book still in print? Well, A Study in Scarlet is still in print, absolutely. Whether this illustrated Strand edition is still in print. This was originally printed in the late 80s. I was 13, so 88, 89, somewhere around there. Question 6. Have you read anything else by the same author? Well, I've read all of the Sherlock Holmes before, but I've not read any of his other novels. And he wrote a lot of sort of adventure stories. So if any of you have read any non-Sherlock Holmes Arthur Conan Doyle, let me know in the comments which ones you've read and whether you enjoyed them. Question 7, have you reread the book? yes, I've read most of the stories at least once. Some of them 20, 25 years ago. So, question 8. Did you like it then, and do you like it now? I absolutely loved it then. Whether it was the layout, the newspaper style columns, the illustrations, I don't know. But I absolutely loved. I remember devouring the stories. Do I love it now? To be honest, A Study in Scarlet is not my favourite. In fact, I prefer the short stories to the novels, and that includes Hound and the Baskervilles. And finally, who do you tag? Well, I'm going to tag Mel over at Mel's Booklands Adventures. I'm going to tag Roz from A Journey Through Books, and Dane from Dane Reads. And big thank you to Dave at Wildereads for creating this tag and tagging me in it as well. And I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Thank you for watching.